Welcome to Everdream. Today we are going to try and estimate Isagi's stats as he enters the World Cup. To do that, we must understand the flow of his evolution throughout the NEL. Let us begin. Before his debut match in the NEL, Isagi underwent 10 days of training, where he leveled up his offense to 87, his speed to 75, defense to 72, passing to 69, dribbling 65, and shooting to 77. And it's no surprise that with numbers like these, he couldn't do much more than make an assist in his debut match. So after it ended, he immediately set about using the next 10 days to improve his numbers. The problem was that he didn't have a concrete idea on how to do that, so he just kept refining his current playstyle. Only now he decided to team up with Corona so they could boost each other's overall value. Flash forward through the training, and his stats, though improved, still weren't all that. His dribbling, defense and shooting barely increased, with his speed not even improving at all. However, because he spent a lot of time training with Corona, his passing, specifically his first touch short passes, improved significantly. And this reflected in his stats as he had a large increment of 5 points in this category. Similarly, his offense improved as well, gaining 4 additional points, no doubt due to the influence his passing had on his plays. So he entered his second match, a bit more able-bodied. And during said match, he acquired Metavision, a skill that increased his numbers in most parameters across the board. This allowed him the freedom to move away from simply refining his current plays and instead add new weapons that improved upon them during his next 10 days of training. And improve he did, specifically in regards to his left leg's precision. Come match day 3, his overall offensive made yet another noticeable improvement, together with his passing. But the true standout was his shooting, as it gained an impressive 4 additional points, putting it squarely at the A-rank level. And though his speed, dribbling and defense barely improved yet again, his stats were starting to look more like what you would expect from a top-rated player. Sadly, this would be the last time we see his player rankings, as the series seems to have moved on from them. But no matter, we have enough data to make an educated guess on what they would have looked like come the PXG game. But before I share my thoughts, it's important to note 2 things. 1. Isagi and his team did not have any matches on match day 4, and thus had 20 days to train for the PXG match. 2. Isagi at this point was yet again simply refining what he could already do and wasn't adding anything new to his playstyle like he had done for the Ubers game. So, with that in mind, let's begin. With his offense having grown explosively lately, I believe he is due for some diminishing returns in this category. After all, the more you improve in something, the less room there is for further improvement. So I would allot a mere 2-point increment, bringing his total offense to 96. I would do the same for both his speed and dribbling, allotting them another 2 points, which I believe is in line with his growth rate in these categories. Regarding his speed specifically, do recall Isagi only improved in this after acquiring Metavision, which suggests an improvement in reaction speed and not his running speed. But with 20 days of training, I think the inverse takes place this time around, with his running speed getting a boost and his reaction speed mostly remaining static. Moving on to defense, in this he gets 0 points because even with a longer training time, he really won't go out of his way to work on his ability to duel, even though it is what keeps him in B rank. In contrast, his passing gets a 3-point boost, because even with diminishing returns, he would still make steady improvements due to the effort he puts in. Finally, we have his shooting. Now this is an interesting one. During the training for the Ubers match, Isagi took his left leg precision to about 40% of his right foot's capability in just 5 days. So with 20 days of extra practice, I think we would up that precision to at least 75%. Remember, he is not ambidextrous, so he can never get it to 100, so for now, 75% seems appropriate. This translates to a 3-point jump in his shooting stat, bringing his overall score to 85, which I think is right on the money. And there we have it, his stats as he first entered the PXG match against Rin. Not too shabby if I do say so myself. Now all that's left is to take things a step further and figure out what they would look like at the start of the U20 World Cup. And with it announced to be starting 50 days after the NEL and factoring in the 2 weeks time off that he was given, Isagi should have at least 34 days to practice for the big event. But as we see in chapter 305, he has started a training of sorts just 5 days into his vacation, that training being studying tactics from a compilation video sent to him by Ego. So right away we know that his tactical comprehension would be an area of significant improvement, so let's just go ahead and give a 3-point increment in his offensive stat, bringing it to a 99 total cumulative points in this category. And with speed being an essential part of any off-the-ball playstyle, I believe Isagi would finally give it his full attention and acquire a 3-point increment, bringing his speed up to 82 and finally at the A rank level. As for defense, once again, I do not see Isagi improving his ability to duel, so I'll just give him a 1-point boost in this. And for once, his passing would follow suit, netting a mere 2 increment due to diminishing returns. Now, regarding his dribbling, I'll have to disappoint those who still hold out hope for some revolution in this part of his game and give him just 74 points in this category, which I believe is yet again consistent with his growth rate. The truth is, though his playstyle has reached a point where he has breathing room to finally focus on his weaknesses, I believe he would still prioritise his strengths, as he has always done in the past, and I don't think the World Cup would be an exception to this. So the way I see him growing is by working on his shooting and learning how to add spins to his volleys so he can shoot around defenders who are blocking his path. And we actually have seen him attempt something similar back during Chapter 83, in which he curves a direct shot as he sends it towards the goal. So it is doable. He just needs to learn how to put more power and spin into this type of volley to boost its effectiveness. To be clear, I don't expect him to be able to perform different kinds of spins on his shots, nor do I see him creating a golden zone. No, he would only be capable of adding a specific kind of spin, at least at first, nothing too flashy, but something he can use anywhere at mid-range. Whether he can make this kind of shot using both feet at the time of his debut match in the World Cup, I honestly haven't decided. Now, a skill like this wouldn't just improve his shooting, but also his dribbling, as the threat of a mid-range shot would force defenders into moving out of position to try and stop it, allowing Isagi to feint, then either pass or dribble further infield, in a similar manner to how Kunigami leverages his own impressive shooting ability. But unlike the cyborg, Isagi has a better head for tactics, and would therefore be a more potent threat. All this would serve to bring his shooting from an 85 to an 89, placing it just short of S rank. As for his overall player rating, I would have it be a 95, putting him squarely in S rank. A fitting placement for BLUELOCK's top dog. And since I neglected to mention this before, this means that during the PXG match, his total rating would probably be at 91. And with that, we have now come to the end of this video. I have done my best to guess in what manner Isagi would evolve. And if you found this video educational, or at least entertaining, please give me a like rating and subscribe to my channel. We are on our way to 800 subscribers, and I would appreciate your help in reaching that goal. The next video is on Kunigami, so subscribe to get notified. Till next time guys, see you later.